Hello everyone, today we are going to learn about equivalence of NFA DFA with Epsilon. Here we have three states Q0, Q1, Q2 with three inputs A, B, C along with Epsilon. Let's start the process. From the given diagram, Epsilon closure of Q0 is Q0, Q1, Q2. Since it is starting from Q0, Epsilon is moving to Q1 and Q2. So epsilon closure of Q0 is Q0, Q1, Q2. Similarly, the epsilon closure of Q1 is Q1 and Q2. And for and the epsilon closure of Q2 is Q2. Now we have to find the transition of Q0, Q1, Q2 with A and Q0, Q1, Q2 with B and C, and also Q1 and Q2 with A with B with C, and Q2 with A with B with C. For this, the formula is epsilon closure of transition of Q0, Q1, Q2 with A is equals to epsilon closure of transition of Q0 with A union transition of Q1 with A union transition of Q2 with A, that equals to epsilon closure of transition of Q0 with A is Q0. Since Q0 with A goes to Q0 union transition of Q1 with A is 5. Since Q1 with A does not exist, union transition of Q2 with A, it is also 5 since Q2 with A also not exist. That equals to epsilon closure of Q0 union 5 union 5, which equals to epsilon closure of Q0. From step 1, epsilon closure of Q0 is Q0, Q1, Q2. Similarly, we have to find the epsilon closure of transition of Q0, Q1, Q2 with B and also with C as shown in screen. And also for Q1 transition of Q1, Q2 with A with B with C and Q2 with A with B with C. After solving above all, we get the answers like this. For simple understanding, denote Q0, Q1, Q2 with A, Q1, Q2 with B and Q2 with C. And from these all states we can draw transition table like with states A, B, C and with inputs A, B, C, small b, small c. State A with input A goes to state A. State A with input B goes to state B. State A with input C goes to state C. State B with input A goes does not exist, so we have to keep as 5. Similarly, state B with input B goes to state B. State B with input C goes to state C. State C with input A does not exist, so 5. Similarly, with input B 5. State C with input C goes to state C. From this transition table, we have to draw the diagram like this. For state A, input A goes to A, so self loop. Input B goes to state B and input C goes to state C. For state B, input A does not exist and state input B goes to B, so self loop, and input C goes to state C. For state C, input A and B does not exist, so C self loop. Here we have three final states. Since in the initial diagram it is given that Q2 is the final state, in this diagram in all states, like in state A Q0, Q1, Q2, in state B Q1, Q2, in state C Q2, in all states Q2 is there. That's why all the three are the final states.